NEO stock bankruptcy canceled. Not possible, according to NEO's president. So this is pretty interesting. NEO's co-founder, President Chin Hong, recently went on a conference, and this is what he said. He said, from January to October, the cumulative deliveries over these past 10 months has increased 40% year over year. And they've successfully switched the products from NT1 to NT2. Also, their factory is up and running. And most importantly, he said NEO has no possibility of going back. NEO will not go bankrupt. Everybody should relax and not be worried about buying a NEO or test driving a NEO. And he said that even though they've increased a lot of deliveries year over year, however, we're not running as fast as we can. That's what he said, word for word. But that does not mean that we're going bankrupt. All those bankruptcy talk is BS from the other competitors that are trying to push NEO down. So I want to offer my thoughts on this and also what's going on here in China, because there's some not so good stuff that's trending here in China. Okay, so first of all, I'm gonna just lay it straight out. I also agree with him. I personally believe that NEO will not go bankrupt, but the reasoning is quite different. All right, but before I share with you those reasons, I want to talk about something that popped up recently, and that was, of course, the rumor that NEO was going to cut jobs. When this rumor was spreading online, NEO's president, Chin Hong, said that do not listen to the rumors out there. The rumors are false. And just the next day, NEO CEO confirmed those job cuts via email to all the employees. And hopefully he doesn't jinx himself this time. And hopefully, honest to God, hopefully that it is true that NEO will not go bankrupt. So a side effect of all those job cuts is that some experienced elderly employees have recently revealed some not so great stuff that has gone trending here in China. So apparently, and this is apparently according to that story, which could be entirely fake. All right, so keep that in mind with like a big shovel of salt. Keep that in mind. It could be entirely fake. Apparently, what's going trending right now here regarding NEO is that an employee that has been with the company for 5 years, 40 years old, he's got elderly people to take care of and also kids to take care of. He's been working at NEO for a very long time, and numerous times he's been pressured by, apparently, okay, this is apparently, pressured by his superiors to buy a NEO. And his name apparently popped up many times on the to be fired list. And the only way to maintain that list is to buy a NEO, and they were pretty much pressuring him to do it, or also get your friends to buy a NEO. So he got his relatives, his brother and his sister, to buy a ES6 and a ES7 apparently, and he himself, he bought 2 ET5s. And the first ET5 was to try to keep his job, and then apparently the second ET5 was because he wanted to get promoted, and he went in talking to his superiors trying to get promotion, but the superiors hinted that you gotta buy a NEO, another NEO. So he actually bought 2 NEOs, and he has a lot of auto loan to deal with. But the recent job cut, he was cut off basically just like that. But of course, he still has the cars and the auto payments that he has to do. So this story could be absolutely fake, just more BS posted by the other companies that are trying to push NEO down, or it could be true. I can't say for sure, all right? What do you guys think? I'm just letting you guys know the information. You guys can judge if this is true or not. But NEO has pressured their employees to buy a car. I know for a fact that the NEO manager himself, he's been persuaded multiple times by not only his colleagues but also his superiors to buy a car. Of course, they got very good perks. If you work at NEO, you get unlimited free battery swap, and also you get employee discount. So what's not there to like? But if it is true, and I don't know if it is true or not, I mean, that obviously doesn't give a good look, right? If you want to keep your job, you got to buy a NIO. Okay, but you guys be the judge. I'm not going to be the judge on this one. All right, moving on. We're going to talk about my reasons why I don't think NIO is going to go bankrupt. The president, his standpoint is that they're still selling a lot of cars and year-over-year increase. You know, we're doing fine. We're doing absolutely fine. But my perspective from selling cars and operation standpoint, because I think NIO is losing a lot of money. Yes, it's undeniable. The thing that gives me confidence that NIO isn't going to go bankrupt, and this is not financial advice, is William Lee himself, the CEO. And for multiple times, he has been the savior for this company. And in my extensive, deep conversation with the NIO manager, he told me this guy, William Lee, he's a master of finance. He's a master at getting money. And there's so many ways that he could get money. All right. For example, if things aren't looking too well, he could sell the charging business. The charging business is hugely profitable, and that by itself could easily fetch a couple $1 billion. No problem. He could raise more money. He could list another company. The upcoming NIO China listing is definitely going to put some cash in their pockets. They can find money under a rock or in the desert. Saudis, they're always going to be able to find money somewhere, all right? So he is a key part. Without him, I think NIO probably wouldn't be able to get as much money as they wanted. And that really goes to show his people skills. He's got a lot of connections, all right? And back in 2019, who would have thought that NIO would be able to get out of that situation, all right? That deal with the Hefei government to spin the assets into NIO China and then essentially have a cash injection for that, save the company, save everybody. I mean, it was a beautiful deal. It was a beautiful deal. What he was able to do, that's credit that goes to him. So he is one of the key parts where I think, you know, he's going to be able to get money somewhere, not worried about bankruptcy. Second part is the support from the government, all right, especially the Hefei government. I mean, they love NIO, Hefei, all right, Anhui province, because NIO was pretty much the poster child for them, creating a huge ton of jobs. He's even paid by the government, all right? He gets a salary from the government because of how good of a job he's doing at getting employment. And obviously, Hefei was one of the key players back in 2019 that saved NIO. If push comes to shove and NIO's in that situation again, in the brink, and things are becoming critical, I am absolutely confident that the Hefei government will not stand by and just let NIO die. That I am confident, all right? Just my personal opinion, how I feel about things, okay? So that is reason number 2. Reason number 3 is a lot more interesting. And this is the fact that NIO has so many patents, has so much technology, has so much infrastructure that if NIO becomes dirt cheap in terms of market cap, there's going to be somebody that's going to swoop NIO up and buy NIO out. It's very possible. Give NIO a big, nice cash injection. It just goes to show that NIO's infrastructure, NIO's company is worth a lot of money. And NIO will be a prime buyout target, or at least an investment target by other bigger companies out there. Of course, once again, in my opinion, all this trending bankruptcy bullshit here in China, it is hurting sales. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It is hurting sales, absolutely. All those job cuts and talk about bankruptcy. What the hell, man? I'm very confident that NIO will not go bankrupt, but there's lots of people that don't know NIO, like you and I. So, you know, these guys, they get scared, and it's all these competitors putting out these scare tactics, trying to push NIO down. Not good, not good. So if you're thinking about buying a NIO and you're hesitating, do not hesitate. NIO's in good hands, all right? And I know you guys are critical about the CEO, but without him, I think the company would have died back in 2019, all right? So he is very important for the company. He is the most important guy for the company. Some people have criticized that he should not be the chief technology officer as well because he doesn't have any background experience in that sector. I tend to disagree because he has a lot of good researchers and lots of R&D helping him out. But I think what he needs is something like what Xpeng did, hire a person with 20 years in the automotive industry, just pure experience, and essentially guide the company. And I think that is something that they should be doing. Guide the company, make the right choices, offer the right products that the customers want. Because one of the biggest contentions, and this is very interesting because this is going to shock you guys, all right? Screens, right? For example, in my Neo, we only got one screen. And there's no me blowing bubbles. One screen, only one screen, vertical screen. You watch a movie, it's like, okay. So experience. I wouldn't say it's the best, but of course, the priority isn't entertainment, obviously. But apparently there's been a lot of debate within Neo about screens. Neo's vice president of sales has said in a chat group that I'm in that he is actually in favor of bigger screens, more options for the customers. And he said he really likes the screens on the i7, which was very interesting. And of course, there's internal conversation and internal debate. They gotta sort things out. But it seems like not giving consumers what they want could push sales away. And that's something that you really need someone with lots of automotive experience to guide the CEO on, okay? So you guys saying replace the CEO? No. Replace the CEO, that would be a death sentence in my opinion. All right, do not replace the CEO. He is the right guy for the job. Get him some professional help with lots of automotive experience, be able to cut the cost down because what the lady that Xpeng hired with 20 years of experience, they were able to cut costs dramatically everywhere because they figured out that they were being ripped off by their suppliers. So I think Neo could do something similar and be able to cut prices down and offer the product that customers actually want. You know, they want screens? Sure. Give them the option to watch screens. The CEO doesn't want his own kids to watch TV in the computer? Sure. Then don't choose that for your Neo. You want screen? Choose the screen. You don't want the screen? Don't choose the screen. But give the consumers the option. Same with dual motor, single motor, LiDAR, non-LiDAR. You're seeing the other guys, they're not making the same mistake. They got single motor, non-LiDAR variants, be able to push the price really down, help sales get the entry-level car. So I think in that aspect, you know, Neo could use some guidance. But that's just my opinion. But I don't think Neo's ever going to go bankrupt. We might get close to the edge, maybe. But Neo's got quite a few guardian angels. I'm just going to say that, all right? It's a fantastic company.